Hey guys, we're going to talk about proving the worldview true. Are we interconnected? Are we co-creating our experience? Is it miraculous? Is it awesome? Are we powerful? And I'm going to talk about it in 3 stages. The first is kind of surface layer. And what you're trying to do is just prove that it is like a light grid. It is interconnected. And what you're kind of looking for is like serendipity. And basically what you're trying to prove is that through your subconscious, you are connected to the whole place. And the whole place can speak to you, is alive. You are kind of like in a miraculous zone. And in the beginning, it's pretty simple. You're just tracking for like serendipities that are so on point that you're like convinced that something happened. A good example. Maybe you're walking past like a sign or a billboard, and right as you're doing that, a question surfaces that precisely is answered by the sign in a way that you feel like through a tingly or a resonance or like a enlightened of your experience, meaning like your intuition has a way of kind of like shimmering when you're receiving like a sign or a message, right? And so in our science, what we're saying here is like through your subconscious, you know that that sign is coming, and you know, higher aspects of your selfhood or deeper aspects of your selfhood are raising that thought at that time so you can get that message. Could you hold a question in mind and open to a page in a book and have it beautifully answered? You know what I mean? These sorts of things. These are kind of surface layer, but like you're building your sense of the place being alive. When you're in a certain mood state or like having a certain thought, can a hawk swoop overhead if you're in nature? These sorts of things. With, you know, if you're at the grocery store, out of the corner of someone's mouth, as they pass you, do they say like the exact message you need? Like, you know, you need to call Mary or get off of that or whatever it is. Like, and you're starting to see that like you're getting cues from your environment all the time, right? In an advanced stage, we're going to have to discern the energy of that sign. But in the beginning, you can trust you're mostly getting beneficial. And I'm just saying the game gets more nuanced later on. But in the beginning, you're literally just learning that the place is alive and connected and light and play and imagination, and that your mind is, you know, translocal or bigger than your single time and space focus, right? So you're basically like, you're learning this stuff. Now, phase 2, you want to go deeper into like the I create my own experience level of this. And here you're going to need some basic mindfulness, some basic bodyfulness. And a lot of people reading this are naturally kind of like old souls, and you're naturally pretty aware. If not, you know, you're going to have to like do your body scan. You're going to have to get your sense of self out of your head and distribute it into your body. Become aware of your emotions, how your thoughts and your emotions and your body responses couple. You need to become aware, because if you're not aware of your innards, you can't track how your innards and your exteriors are like in dance with each other or in concert with each other. So you have to be aware to do this project, and you know that's like an increasing project to become more and more aware. But like if you feel like you're stuck in your head, you know, you gotta do your yoga, you gotta get in your body, you gotta feel, you know, do some meditation. Like you do meditation period. Get good at meditation, get aware, increase the amount of information you're conscious of. So at this point though, what you're doing is you're tracking how your experiences are following your innards or your belief system, your expectation, and how the two kind of dance together. Simple things like if you're in a business, can you shift the quality of the meeting based on like your perception of the others? Can you see the best in the others? Like, can you come in with positive expectations, positive beliefs, positive energy? Can you set the rhythm? Can you literally shift the quality of your experience based on your expectations and your actions both together? You need to interpret everything that's ever happened to you out of a creation perspective, meaning this is still at this level too. Like the family you entered from this perspective isn't seem as random, but something you're like your soul knew. Those relationships, those challenges were things that were part of your like project here, right? And so even if you were like victimized, you reinterpret that as something that your soul attracted for certain reasons and lessons. And you're noticing in like a forward-looking way, like what is it in me that keeps attracting certain experiences? Like what is my energy? Do I feel like a victim? Where am I giving away my power? do, you know, like you're always trying to shift like your inner alchemy, right? Because you realize that that is your lesson, and until you make that shift, you're going to keep attracting certain experiences. Now this is going to bring us into level 3, which is going to be a multi-dimensional understanding, because this will come after. You don't need to do this immediately, but at some point you're going to have certain lessons or themes in your life that won't make sense unless you have a knowledge of your soul history, where you've been, why you're here. And you'll have issues that come to you in your own life that actually relate to another aspect of your selfhood, right? And we'll talk more about this, a lot more about this, how to develop your intuition. Eventually you get even knowledge of where you've been before. And there's a lot of scientific data on reincarnation. It's building if you don't believe in reincarnation. I did not for many years until I had my own firsthand experiences. I was always like, but the point is, like, we're in eternity. Of course, you play it many times. You know, you got so many lessons to learn. It's like, it's a cool game. You don't just have one chapter. You have many chapters that relate. And, yeah, so I'm just saying there'll be certain things in your life that you're going to need to have some of that knowledge to make perfect sense of. So if some things don't make sense, like why did I do that stuff as a little kid? Like, you can feel into it, you can meditate, you can get your own answers, know that. But if in the beginning you're having a hard time getting your answers, like, keep those as question marks and keep working with what you can understand, what you can act on. Keep meditating. We'll talk about our energy game in the following videos. But as you increase your energy, you're going to get more and more information. You're basically able to communicate with the higher aspect of your selfhood where these answers are at. So that's coming, but I'm just saying, like, there's kind of layers. So summarizing, layer 1, you're seeing that the place is alive, that we're interconnected, like, whoa, the information is pulsing. Like, sometimes I think of Billy Bob just as Billy Bob calls. You know, that billboard just answered my question, that hawk flew overhead just as I had that feeling tone in that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, these sorts of things. Layer 2, like, interpreting everything from a creation perspective, like taking the reins back on your life, like, what energies in me attracted that experience, right? And, you know, this is hard in the sense that you may have to learn some lessons and make some changes. You can't just blame everything on the others, but it's empowering, invigorating, and this is where the action's at. Layer 3, at some point, your multidimensional understanding or knowing, like, your soul story is useful too. And that we'll get you there in these videos, or you'll get yourself there in your own way, and these videos will help accelerate it, hopefully. But that is awesome sauce. And that's really where you've, like, landed in this worldview, and you have a lot of deep understanding. Yeah, so basically, like, step 1, see the place is alive, interconnected, light, energy, information, woohoo, amazing. Step 2, really interpret everything out of your own understanding of who you are. In this, you're becoming, like, more conscious of your belief system, of your expectations, of your understandings, of your habits, of your patterns, and you're noticing that as you alchemize those, right, your own, like, experience is alchemizing and shifting. You can play with day-to-day things like meetings, but you're also playing with, like, broad arcs and themes of your life, and you're noticing that as you change those patterns and shift those patterns, right, yeah, you're basically noticing how you do create your own reality, and you're growing into that understanding, which is awesome. And then step 3 is some of that reincarnational data, that soul story, knowing more about where you came from and why you're here. We'll talk a lot more about that later. In all of this, what you're doing is you're proving true to yourself that, yes, the place is alive, it is energy, it is light, it is amazing, it is play. I am aware, much bigger than my own time and space experience, right? You got information, the place is talking to you, you got signs, woohoo! And you're noticing that you do create your experience, you're becoming conscious of your belief system, you're shifting patterns, and you're basically like thawing or graduating or hatching into this bigger understanding. And then from there, you're going to even recognize a lot more information about from whence you came and all that. Now, 2 side points I wanted to make before I close this. Tracking your dreams is very helpful. The pattern of your dreams and the way in which your psyche creates its dreams, just being intimately familiar with that is going to help you understand the patterns of your waking life as well. It's similar. It's a good knowingness of your soul. So if you're tracking your dreams, which is easy to do, just write down everything you can. It'll build and build and build, or speak into a phone. Try and interpret them. Like, is there meaning? You know, interpret it yourself. because it's your own psyche speaking to you. So don't go online, like just try and interpret your own dreams. You know, if you can't, no worries. But that pattern will help you with this whole project. And the other pattern that's going to help you is focusing on your body. Like, sure, it might be a lot to see that you're creating your own experience, like in a shared reality, right? Like, well, wasn't it just what the bus driver did? Like, you know, it's harder, and you'll notice that your expectation of what the bus driver is going to do, your energy field is shifting what the bus driver does. But in the beginning, like if there's a car crash, you may feel like, oh, yeah, but that guy just crashed into me. Well, your body is a really good place to like hone your understanding, because you really have a ton of control over your body manifestation. So like you're trying to like shift your body image through your thoughts, expectations, beliefs, and you can get your own intuitive understanding of like how to heal things like a tight hip, you know what I mean? Like work it physically. But if you're meditating, you may get your clues. You may get that sign from a billboard, like, yo, it's your inner critic. And then you'll be able to, through your own body, prove that you really do create your own experience. So those are your two like bonus tips. Dream time is awesome. Track that, help you understand the rhythms or patterns patterns of your experience, and then your own body. You'll form. The placebo effect, right? The placebo effect is strong. The placebo effect is primary. We are, through our psychology and our expectation, generating our form. And you know, what we do in the physical matters, what we eat and all that stuff, but that is like related very much so to our beliefs, expectations, energies. Like, we eat a good diet because we know we're jacked in the spirit and we want to increase that, right? So like I'm just saying, as you shift your understanding, you should be able to shift your form. All right, over and out. That's that. Okay. Sorry, friends talking. That should make sense. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll talk a lot more about the energy game and the multidimensional understanding next. Yellow, yellow, yellow tide. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.